Well, Starchild is on the line, and we're going to talk about the new release. We have The Power, which is a dreamy, nostalgic lo-fi surf rock track embodying the power and magic of human emotion. And Starchild is, of course, with us. How are you today?
Good. I'm doing really good. Thank you. It's been a really exciting day. Just launching some music, some merch. So it's been really fun today.
Exciting. So this new song, We Have the Power, how would you describe it? Because I guess it's kind of like maybe a soft rock track.
Yeah, no, definitely. I would definitely describe it as a very like surf rock, lo-fi, just like track, just to kind of keep you engaged, keep you relaxed, but very optimistic and hopeful. I just wanted to make it sound really pretty. So
Did you have to think a lot about the genre? Because with a title like We Have the Power, you'd maybe expect it to be this massive, loud song, a big statement, really. Did you prefer to have a kind of softer style?
yeah, I mean, the lyrics came after listening to the beat. So I found the beat on YouTube, and it was just very, I don't know, it was just so dreamy, and I don't know, the way the it flowed, it helped the cadence of the writing. So yeah, when I got to writing the hook, I don't know, it just kind of came out, and so yeah, I don't know. I like the fact that it was a set just a really nostalgic type of. It felt like big beach waves, honestly. So I
Yeah.
think that's kind of how "We Have the Power" was born with that beat.
And do you hope that people will listen to it and feel some kind of nostalgia?
I do, yeah. I mean, I definitely do. When I first heard the instrumental, when I found it, it reminded me of just like 60s Americana, just
Yeah.
like I don't know, it just felt like something I've heard before, but like at the same time I haven't. And I just really wanted to make just lyrics that we can kind of use for ourselves, when we're in a rough spot or when we feel like we're not the most powerful is just remembering like we are though, like we do have that inside us too,
Yeah.
to build from.
Now, before it comes out, it's being released as a radio exclusive first. Why did you want to have it on the radio before it comes out?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's something really beautiful about doing like a traditional route. I think that's kind of getting a little lost in music right now. We have so many independent artists kind of just like releasing on streaming exclusively, but I think
Yeah.
we forget the great opportunity that radio brings. And I think there's still a lot of listeners, and we forget about that, and I think there's a lot more listeners on like internet radio platforms and stuff. And so I don't know, I kind of just wanted to tap into that market before, releasing the single, like on streaming. Because I think it's kind of just classic, to get it spun and,
Yeah.
have that engage with the audience and maybe find a new audience. And when it actually, becomes available, hopefully there is an audience already behind it when it might do even better than.
Because you've got to try every avenue to get people to actually find the song in the first place, haven't you?
Exactly. I've learned my lessons. I've started putting out music in 2019, and it was really learned as I go, honestly. And so, I've learned, how to just to take it slow and to really enjoy the release and to really just like let the music kind of speak for itself and allow it just to be there for you to dive into when you're on stage and have a body of work that I can actually like perform for people.
Now, what goes into your look? Because you are wearing a kind of crown thing, like maybe some sort of Hawaiian crown
Yes.
almost, that's like maybe made of fruit or something. And then
Yeah.
you've got your Starchild jumper on. Is your image something that you think a lot about?
Yes and no. So yeah, this is definitely my little flower crown. I'm very nostalgic for the 60s and the 70s. I definitely feel like I was a part of that culture, and I have a big past life, a big connection to that. So I don't
Yeah.
know, I kind of like to bring that into this world. And I think we're in a time period in fashion right now where we have all timelines, melting in one. And so I just kind of like to merge my favorite colors. I love red. I love orange. And the name Starchild comes from the myth of the sun. I love bringing that energy, everywhere I go, because the sun is the thing that follows us everywhere. We wake up with it, and the moon rises after. It's the satellite. So just really big person of just on planets and magic and respecting the two central sources. I think we forget that the sun gives us life,
Yeah.
and it always has, and it in the whole consciousness of humanity, we forget that everything just revolves around the sun. All of the holidays, all of the
Yeah.
seasons and stuff. So I like to bring that in my poetry. I like to bring that in my writing and in my performances. I don't know. I always have a big connection to the sun because I grew up in California. So I get it as more than most people.
Yes, you
So
do. You get it more
yeah,
than we do here. We only get it about
right.
2 days a year.
Yeah, I mean, dang, that is true.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it, that we measure our age by how many times we've been
Around
round
the
this
sun.
big burning ball of gas.
Yes.
The world revolves around it, literally.
Exactly. Exactly. I think we forget about that sometimes, So
Yeah.
I like to bring that with my style and with my name, Starchild, letting people know it's like, I'm as bright as the sun, and that is the energy I will claim. And, that's what I want to give to people, is just as much light as I can, because there's so much darkness right now. And, I don't want to contribute to that.
And in what way do you feel like you were part of the culture of the 60s and 70s? Because obviously you weren't alive then.
Yes. Yeah, definitely physically wasn't alive, but yeah, spiritually, I think there is just a lot of souls in the 60s and the 70s, that demanded and wanted change, but we didn't realize like how big the mission really was, So I think a lot of us, unfortunately, at that time, there was so much young death happening, and I think I was a part of that, unfortunately. And so I think that's why I feel such a connection, to that time periods, because it was a period of, fully coming together, fully trying to manifest things with our thoughts, and, bringing those ideas back to the culture, because we were moving into such a hyper industrial age that we were forgetting our connection to nature. We were forgetting our connection to magic and our connection to like our own inner human spirit. And so the 60s and 70s are just such a poignant time for that. And I think we kind of lost that. So I just want to bring that back a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think there's a lot of appeal for that, isn't it? I don't know if it's always been like this, but it seems that now more than ever, people want to go back to that music and that time, and everything was a lot simpler. Well, apart from the threat of nuclear war, but then that's happening again, isn't it?
Exactly. And I think that's why we keep going back, because it is the start of the postmodern world. It set the blueprint for where we're at. And one of my favorite artists is Jim Morrison. And when he was alive at the time, one of his last interviews, he really predicted, the mass mediated culture that we're in right now. And, talking about like the danger of that. And like, we're seeing it now, that we are, especially in the States, like, I mean, and I'm sure too, in the UK, the media, really having a dominant power, and that controls psyche, and we forget, that the news channels, when you look at the word television, we forget how to break down words sometimes, and it's really, really important. So
Yeah.
I want to kind of leave the audience with this. Whenever you think of the word television, always remember, tell a vision. They're telling you a vision through a channel. It's all energy. It's all broadcasted frequency. So yeah, I think the 70s and the 60s, we were kind of starting to see that, talk about that. And then we got really lost kind of in the 80s with the drug culture that took over. So I think we've been fighting that ever since. And now I'm just kind of here to try to bring up the subjects in my music and through art and stuff.
And you mentioned that you get a lot of sun where you live in California, and by my calculations, it's quite early there at the moment, but it still looks bright. Have you just got a big light on?
I do. I have a little light right by me. It's like my little night light. And it's kind of like my little setup. I have like my little bed right here, my posters and stuff. But yeah, I try to make the apartment as light as I could, so it wouldn't be too dark.
Yes. Now, what else is coming up for you? You've got this single coming out, and then are there more singles, albums, shows, anything exciting? And even things that aren't that exciting?
Yeah, no, really exciting stuff. So, yes, the single drops. It's looking like May 19th is going to be the date. We're going to drop it for streaming, and we're going to drop the music video as well. So that's That's really cool. And at the moment, I don't have any shows lined up, but that's what I'm doing right now is just hitting up promoters, hitting up like venues, and trying to line up some dates for the summer. And yes, I do have an album brewing. It is all finished. It's all done. That's where all these songs are coming from, and some re-releases might be happening as well as like tracks that I released when I was in 2019 when I started music, and they sound a little different than they did when I started. So
Yeah.
a lot of things just kind of coming full circle with that. And then my merch, yeah,
Yeah.
I have I got merch now. For selling. We have the power. It has we have a power right there, and a lot of cute tote bags and backpacks and stuff. And so we're kind of just promoting that out and figuring that out, I guess. And yeah, the next single after this won't be out until about like June. We'll be hopping on a different cycle, but yeah, the goal is I'm just trying to build my team. I still don't have a manager. I don't have the help that I need. I
Yes.
desperately need it, but I know I'll get there for sure. But yeah, next up is just performances. Honestly, just performing the song live, and hopefully, finding a team that we can just like keep booking shows and just find more audiences and just really get up on stage and light it up and give what I can because that's why I do this. I love the stage, and I
Yeah.
that's where I feel the most safest and at home in myself and my body. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, that's pretty much what's going on.
Yeah, that's interesting you find the stage the most safest because for a lot of people it's maybe the most terrifying place, especially
I
when
know.
you're just starting out.
Yeah, no, it's really funny. For sure. I think I've ever since I was a kid, it's I don't know, that was like the one place that where I just always felt my truest like inner 100% self come out, and I just was really good at a young age developing a fourth wall and just like being able to tune the world out. And
Yeah.
I think that I forget sometimes that is not everyone's case, and not every musician's case. I've definitely talked to a lot of musicians where like they're like, I'm great in the studio, I'm great writing, I'm great at the instruments and producing my own track, I'm a whole self-produced, but I can't get up on that stage. I'm scared. Come on. And I'm just like, and I'm the opposite. I'm just like, I can't produce a track by myself. No, no, no. You know what I mean? I need producers. I need people helping me. I kind of know how to play piano, but like I can't play an instrument. But I can write a song and I can sing and I can get up on that stage and sing and dance and like make the show happen and
Yeah.
direct the audience and engage with the audience and really share that moment with them. And it's really special. So it's definitely my favorite part because it just feels like a big theatrical show. So
Well, you've got a email list that we can sign up to keep up to date
yes.
with everything you're doing, right?
Yes, yeah. If you head over to starchildmedia.com and just scroll all the way past my pictures, all the videos and stuff, you'll see my little subscribe page. So you can put in your email and I'll send you a cute little hello. Thank you so much. And
Yeah.
through that, every month I send out some coupons and stuff like that for the merch. And I'm going to start a blog up on there, kind of just keep up my poems and stuff. And it's just a good way to kind of keep up with any new music that's going to be dropping, the music video, and all the stuff that's coming in the album and all those releases coming up.
And this single is called We Have the Power, which will be out on the 19th of May, probably. So,
Yes.
where are all the places that we'll be able to find that and find all your previous music and keep up to date with you in other places as well?
Yes, yeah. So definitely starchildmedia.com is the main hub to find anything new going on about me, any new music, any videos, all that stuff. And then Starchild 1997 is my Instagram page and my TikTok page. So that's where I kind of also keep engagement and, building a fan base through that. And yeah, as for music, like just keep listening to your radio station.
Yeah.
If you wanna listen to it, it's gonna be up on another radio station called Worldwide Radio, and
Mm.
yeah, on the 19th, it's gonna be able to download and stream on all platforms and everything like that, along with the music video. And then yeah, there's gonna be a single coming after that shortly, and music video as well. It's gonna be a cool little shift. This one's more rock, and the next one goes a little more indie pop for the next one because I like to be as genreless as possible. And I think that's like a big thing going into the future of music, is being able to be flexible and, kind of cross all genres. So that's the goal for the music of this album.
Well, many thanks for talking to us today. It's been great having you on.
No, it was great being here. Thank you for, giving me this moment, this opportunity. And, shout out to everyone who's watching and everything in between. I had a really great time talking to you.